one case studies demo and followed by any Q&A session that we might have. Right? Yeah, so overview. So overview means what is marketing automation? So marketing automation is nothing but streamlining and automating marketing tasks using technology, right? So this is the definition, obviously. So when we say automating marketing task, so we should understand what it is, right? So when we build a website, what we technically do is we give a platform for the users to know about our company or buy a products from us, or maybe uh, collect their information, right, as a user. But once that is done, we never go to the marketers and we ask them, what do you do, right? As a developers or as an architect, our main focus is building a website, but nobody tries to understand what happens after that. So technically what happens is, let's take an example of a simple example can be like a newsletter subscription, right? So there is a website which has a newsletter subscription. So there will be a form, the user is filling in their detail and clicking on the submit button. So what that user is doing is trying to share his email ID so that he can get the updates of the company every month, and so that the latest blogs or latest information is shared with him every month, right? Now, is that something that we can automate? The question is yes. But most of the companies, what they do, the form is submitted, an email will go to the admin. That admin will copy that email address manually one of the list, right, in the spreadsheet. And that spreadsheet is used to send the bulk emails. Okay. Now take an example that a user gave their email address to us. We put it manually in that spreadsheet. We are sending a bulk email. Now that user is not interested, let's say after 4 or 5 months, right? After receiving 4 or 5 emails, that person is not interested. So then the person will try to unsubscribe. Then again, it's a manual activity, right? This is just one example, but there are a lot of marketing tasks that can be automated, right? So I'll give you some examples and a case study, but that is something where a marketing automation comes into a picture, right? Automating this kind of task. Now, the key components that marketing automation address is lead generation, then lead nurturing. Lead generation, as in, let's say, I'll give you a simple example of Amazon, right? So if you go to Amazon, you see some products, you try to see some watches or something, and you exit the website, right? And then you don't do anything. Then in within 10 to 12 hours, you'll receive an email with the hot deals on the watches, right? On the Amazon. That's something how they try to generate the lead. They already know that you came to the website, you tried to search for the watches, right? That is lead generation. Lead nurturing is the second one, that you receive an email and they are giving you temptation to come back to the website and do that transaction, buy the watch from them. So that is nothing but the customer retention. So another things that you can do is campaign management, personalization. You already know that everyone's Amazon is different, right? And that's how the personalization works, right? So whatever your choices are, you go in, you check that, and based on those personalization rules, you will get those emails. Maybe I'll get a deal on watches, you might get a deal on another electronics, right? Somebody can get it on phones, somebody can get it on iPads. And analytics and reporting, this is very important for marketers, right? So it's not about the lead, like you can create 1,000 leads, but then at the end, these are just the opportunities. You need to take them to closures, right? So you need to convert these leads into an opportunity, and from opportunity to a closed lead or a winning lead. So that's how that you can do through analytics and reporting, right? So now what is Sitecore marketing automation? So whatever we just discussed was a marketing automation. Sitecore marketing automation is nothing but it's a tool that allows you to do the same thing that we just discussed. So what it does is automate the repeated activities to free up time. This is like the whatever marketers are investing their time in doing this day-to-day activities, like keeping an eye on the emails to see if somebody submitted a lead, copy it manually, put it into the list. All these things can be automated. Enroll, evaluate in session and real time. This happens in real time, right? Because once the user comes on the website and they do something, there will be the logic that we'll be doing putting in as a part of marketing automation, and all these things will be done automatically. Then making decision based like this, like all these 5 points, what I'll do is I'll give you case studies based on this, right? So just understand that marketing or in simple words, after the website is went live, there will be activities that certain activities that your marketers will do to create the leads. What we are doing as a part of marketing automation is we are just identifying this areas where the manual labor is not required. We can do it using a tool, right? Then we are using Sitecore marketing automation in that place so that we can free up the marketers task and they can focus on strategies rather than doing this manual labor, right? So let's discuss the case study. So I've just identified four because this is just a beginner level marketing automation, but it can go to very complex scenarios and you can use it in very, very complex scenarios and it will work like a gem for you. Okay, before we jump into the case studies, now uh, what I want to make clear that marketing automation is not part of your default site code installation, right? So now if you have a Sitecore only XMPs, then marketing automation won't be there. If you're using XP, experience platform, then the marketing automation will be part of you. So make sure like whatever I give in your demo, all those things will be part of your experience platform and not XM, right? Yeah. So let's start with the case studies. So first will be goal-based marketing automation. Now, what is goal-based market? This is very simple, right? The first thing, foremost thing that I said, like the watches, right? That can be an example. Okay. But here I'll give you another simple example will be, let's say, assume that you maintain Tata Motors website, right? And people come to check about Tata Nexon car models. So what you'll do is there will be a detail page of Tata Nexon, right? And you might have uh, a brochure on that page, right? A document or a PDF with car specification and car details. So what we can do is we can trigger a goal when somebody downloads the brochure, right? A goal triggering is very simple. You will assign that you will create one goal, maybe like a brochure download or a brochure, and then you will assign that goal to that PDF. So whenever somebody clicks download brochure, your goal is getting triggered. Okay. Now, what you'll do is once this goal is triggered, you will identify the user who is doing that, and you will add that user, or maybe like you'll identify that user, and then you will assign or enroll that to the marketing automation. So, what marketing automation you can do here on goal based is simple. Like if somebody is downloading your brochure, that means that person is interested in that vehicle, right? So, you can create a simple thing like after 10 hours or after 24 hours, you just send them an email stating that did you get all the information about the car in our brochure, or would you like to talk to our customer executive who can give you more brief about the car, or you can also schedule the test drive using this email, right? Now what it means is the person came to your website, tried to download the brochure. We know that that person is interested. Now in 24 hours we are giving them an email. That person will feel like, yeah, Tata Motors are interested in me as an end customer, and they are ready to give me a test drive of that vehicle. So what we are doing is we are pushing that user to purchase that car from us, right? So that is a simple one, that is a goal based one. All right. Second thing is a creation of subscription list, because this is like why I identified this as a case study is this 2 point, the point number 2 and point number 3, maintenance of subscription list. This can be what we can say, it can go with any website, right? Every website needs a subscription list. Everyone collects the user emails so that they can just send the emails to the customer and with the few links of the website or more information, and the users can come back to their website, right? Or whenever they write a blog regarding anything that the user is interested in, they can send a bulk email and users will come. So this helps you to retain your users or have a retaining traffic, so that your organic value is maintained, right? So this is the most easiest way of implementing marketing automation. Now imagine the same scenario. I'll tell you how to do this, but let's imagine like you have a marketing website, let's say xyz.com. In your footer you will put or footer, or you will on the home page itself or every page will put a form which is known as subscribe form, where user will insert the email and click subscribe. right? As simple as that. What happens after that? Either if you're using Sitecore forms, you can save the data and the data will be saved in XTB. And every month, what HR, like whatever marketers will do is they will come to the Sitecore, they will go to that form and download the data, right? So that they get the whole list of emails and then they will assign or enroll it to the marketing automation or like to send the campaigns out. So this is first manual labor, right? You're coming to Sitecore and then again you're sending a couple of things. The second thing is, or the copy paste one that I told you while we started this webinar. Second thing is about unsubscribe. Now, whenever you have another form, which obviously from subscribe from you will not be able to unsubscribe the user, right? So there will be in the email itself, you will have a unsubscribe list link in the bottom. So what you will do is you will go to that unsubscribe form, you'll put your reason why you want to unsubscribe. Maybe like it's spamming your emails or you're not interested with the content that is coming through. You'll select the reason, you'll put your email, and obviously you'll unsubscribe. So that is a second form. So what now marketers has to do, first they will download the subscription one, then they will download the unsubscription one, then they will make sure that whoever has unsubscribed, they are removing it from the Excel manually, and then they are sending it to bulk, right? Because GDPR is strict. So if somebody is unsubscribing, you're not supposed to send an email, right? Nowadays. So since you're doing that, it's a manual labor. So that can be easily done through marketing automation. And this I'll show you how to do in our demo, right? Now, last case study will be a decision-based automation. And I've taken a simple example as two-wheeler, right? So let's say you go to Bajaj website, not Bajaj, like, yeah, Bajaj website, and you're just surfing anything, right? And what we have done is whenever you end up to the landing page, we are sending you an email stating that whether it's a geared one or non-geared one, the content will of the email will be different, right? So what we will do is we will have two goals, maybe for the geared one and non-geared one. Whenever user triggers any of the goals, there will be a decision check whether which goal you have triggered, and based on that, it will give you in the email, right? You can imagine this as an algorithm or flow chart where you have that diamond in between, and the diamond decides whether it's a goal geared one or non-geared one. If it's a geared one, it will go to the left and maybe send an email about the geared one. And if it's non-geared one, it will come to the right and send the email related to the non-geared one, right? So I'll show you how this decision-based automation works as well. So these are the case studies. I'll just pause for a second and wait if somebody has any questions for me related to case studies. No, right? I'll take it as no, but yeah, you can always ask me a question at the end as well. So now what we'll do is we'll demo the subscription flow in different areas of Sitecore, right? So it's not only marketing automation, but we'll be touching every piece of Sitecore, not every piece, but at least 2, 3 applications that might come into the picture, right? Yeah. So this is Sitecore 10.3.1. Everyone will be familiar with the Launchpad one. So here is the marketing automation, right? So this is your window. Like I'll just show it. If it was a quick one, then I'll show it. Under marketing applications, you can say marketing automation. I'll just create one blank automation for you. So this is, once it's blank, you'll see first, whenever you're doing first time, it will be like this. You click here. So this is a funnel, which is your start point, and this is your end point, right? Now in between, we can do anything. The start should be based on goals, enrollment, or meeting specified rules, right? So maybe like I'll go with the goal, right? So let's say I was talking about the brochure request, right? So brochure, I can just select your goal is there. Whenever a brochure request is there, now you can do anything. Let's say we thought about sending an email, right? So even email, what I said, like let's wait for 24 hours. So I can put the delay as well. So once the goal is triggered, just wait for 24 hours that you can do. Or if even if you want, you can just do it for days, right? If you want to wait for 2 days or 24 hours. Let's say I want to wait for 2 days. Okay. Then sending an email is easy. First of all, you will need to have a campaign in your EXM, right? Then only you can select something from here. Okay. So that can be like select an email contact receipts. Like I'll need to do a custom one. I've used a out of the box one. Now, if I don't want to do this, and let's say it was a goal about subscription, then what I would have done is I would have given it add to contact to a list. I'll show that one as well. This was a simple one, right? Download a brochure, wait for 2 days, send an email, and it will exit. Okay. Second thing can be I was talking about the decision one, right? So if you see there is a decision point. And I need to yeah. Yeah. So technically, a decision point requires a goal in between, right? So let's say goal triggered was instant demo, right? That's the goal. Yeah. Listen for listen until you can just do it for an year or 2 years. Yeah. Then this is your decision tree, which I was talking about. Now, what decision point helps you with is either you can use the rule set, which provided by the Sitecore. Obviously, it will not have your use cases in it, right? So you will need to create custom rules using custom facets from XDB. But let's say now, if you want to use this very simple rule like a date has passed, okay, um, when a contact has interacted, anything, a simple thing which is like out of the box, right? Let's say when the contact has interacted on channel between, let's say if you have an offer for Diwali, right? So in that case, I would have done it like between 8th November to 15th November or something like put, yeah, 15th November. If that is done, then maybe send them a discount email, right? So if it's no, then it will exit. If it's yes, apply, there is a rule now, then send them an email with maybe the coupon code or something. So it can be a coupon code email. So this is how your marketing automation will work, right? So now once your marketing automation is done, you will need to save it. Once you click, you will now save is very important, right? You need to give a unique name. Maybe like whenever you're doing it, the name should not be repeated. Second thing is start date and end date, right? So whenever you're starting, you can always select today's date, for example, end date. Now, because why end date is very important is after that it will automatically unpublish the marketing automation. So if you are not sure that whether you want to keep it for 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years, or maybe like infinite, then go for like 10 years, because in 10 years you'll obviously you will revisit the website, right? So you can select like this. Now, another main thing is maximum enrollments, right? So what is one and what is unlimited? So one means a user can go through this marketing automation only once. Okay. And obviously, if you click here, you have an opportunity to change this number as well. So let's say maximum I can give one user 5 coupon cards, then I'll go with 5, right? But let's say I want to make sure that the coupon for per user is only one, then I'll go one, right? And if I'm not worried about the coupons, if I'm just worried about the sales, I'll keep it unlimited. Now I'll give you an example. This was sales, so that makes sense of switching between unlimited and this number, right? But let's say if it's a subscription, if it's a unsubscribe, like this activities, you need your user to be done like enrolling to the marketing automation only once, right? So this is very important. Okay. Then I'll just cancel it and I'll go back. I'll not save this one. I was just going through to show you how the marketing automations are, right? Now, I'll just brief you on the front end. What we are going to do is, so brochure download we already went through. You can just create a brochure download site and like a page, and you can do it. The first thing to subscribe anything will be your form. right? I'll be putting my email address and I'll be clicking subscribe, right? Then the thing starts. So let's go to Sitecore form to understand what we need to do on subscribe form first. So this is a very simple form. You have an email address, you have a submit action of submit, right? And it, whenever it's successful, it will just show you the message, thank you for subscribing the newsletter. So the main thing that we do is subscribe. Now, identify contact is not out of the box. So to use this submit action, you need to install form extensions module. If you don't want to install this third party form extension module, then you can write a custom code as well. It's very simple. What you need to do is you need to make sure that whenever a user enters the email address, right, and click subscribe, you're using that email address to identify that user into xconnect or xdb, that this is a user and the user's email address is whatever that user is putting into. Once you do that, you're saving the data. This is out of the box, and even trigger goal is out of the box, right? What we are doing under trigger goal is we are just selecting the goal. And that is a custom goal that we have created, subscribe one, right? So I've created two goals here now, subscribe and unsubscribe. But first we are focusing on subscribe goal. So I have subscribe that I've added. So this is your form. Identify a contact, save the data, and trigger a goal. That's it. That's it you have to do on the format. Okay. Now you need a list, right? A list manager. Here it's very simple. In the list manager, you will create, for the first setup, you will create an empty list. I was testing it, so I already have it. So you can just create like empty list and name it like subscription list. I already have it, so I'll name it something like subscription SUG Pune demo, right? If you want, you can just give the description here, right? Subscription, and you can click save. So that's done, right? You'll have this list. There is no activation or anything for the list, right? So whenever you see, you'll see another list here. That's all you need to do. So you touched forms, you touched list manager. Now it's time to create your marketing automation. So likewise, I created the demo one. You can click create and click blank automation, right? So what I'll do is I'll explain you the subscription one. Okay. So this marketing automation is already active. What we are doing is we are working on goal, that is subscribe, that we are trying to trigger from the Sitecore forms. Then what I'm doing is whenever a subscribe goal is triggered, I'm trying to add a contact to the list. Which list we are using? The subscription list that I created. So let's say it's active, so I'm not able to edit anything. This automation is active, but normally what you'll do is you will be able to add a contact action and then you will be able to select from this list. And third is exit. So this is a very simple one, right? You will add this action here and then you will select the subscription list, apply, click on save, give the name, give the start date, end date, and your subscription. Like here also, I think I should be able to, yeah, give the subscription name, description, start date, end date, and then maximum enrollments. And then you're done. So if you see status, it's locked because it's active, it's locked. So if I need to modify the existing marketing automation, I'll need to deactivate it first. Deactivate, do the changes, and again, you see this play button. If you click here, it will get activated. Okay, back. So let's do one. So, and this process is not in, it's in real time, but since it's a processing service, then automation service that runs behind it, it will take at least 15-20 minutes to reflect it into the list manager, right? So let's say if I come here and put test, what is today's date? It's 16/11 @test.com. And if I click subscribe, oh, we'll need to refresh. And then test 16/11 @test.com. So now what I'm doing technically is once I click the submit, first it will will identify that user. So it will try to create a contact in XDB with the email address that we use, that is text1611@test.com. Then it will save the data as a part of this form submission. And third will be, it will trigger a goal, that is subscribe. Once that subscribe goal is triggered, we have a marketing automation in place, which says that if this goal is triggered, I'm trying to add this user to a list, which is a subscription list, right? And then it will exit. So our one part is done, right? So now what I'll do is I'll show you, like I have, so this is a report. Here you see how many contacts go through this automation. So 8 contacts have already went through this automation, right? What I'll do is I'll go to the list manager and I'll show you. Now it was 6, like it will become 7, but in 15-20 minutes, right? So till then, what I'll show you, there are 6 contacts, right? And how to see this 6 contact, you can always export this contacts. You'll be able to see. So I'll see. If I open this file, so these are my old contacts, right? Whatever I have done a testing, you can see all these emails here. So what I'll do is I'll use this email to unsubscribe. So it's in the subscription list. So as a part of unsubscription, it will be same thing, right? I'll go to unsubscribe. I'll put here the email address. Then if your marketer are interested in knowing the reason, right? The emails are spamming your inbox or content is not tailored to your requirements. You select the reason, you will unsubscribe. Before unsubscribing, let's go to Sitecore and try to understand how the unsubscribe logic is working. So I'll need to go to the form. Again, go to unsubscribe form. These are the reason that we saw. I'll come here. Same thing, right? What I'm doing is I'm trying to understand save data and trying to just trigger the goal unsubscribe, right? The user is already known in the XDP now. Just what I want to do is I just want to unsubscribe it, right? So here I'm just triggering a goal unsubscribe. I'll go back and we'll try to understand the marketing automation. So there is one for unsubscribe email list. So here we need to do 2 things, right? Why I'm saying is I'll give you that idea as well. So first is the start point. So obviously we'll be selecting a goal that is unsubscribe. Second, what I'll do is I'll add this user to a new list known as unsubscribe list. This can be your global unsubscribe list, right? Whoever is trying to unsubscribe from any email campaigns, you can try to add that user to here, like add a contact to unsubscribe list. And second thing is, if you see the method name or action name, unsubscribe from the list. So I'm automatically trying to remove this user from the subscription list, because the marketers can only use this subscription list for bulk emails, right? Every time they do, they will always have the latest one. So if a user has unsubscribed from our subscription process, that user will be automatically removed from this list, right? And you can always take the latest one and you can send the email, right? So I'll just trigger this as well. You are now unsubscribed from the list. Yeah. So this is how the things work. And there was a simple one that I created for brochure that also we can see. So what I had done is there was a start. I selected brochure request. I tried to increase the engagement value, because whenever a goal is triggered, right, the engagement of that user increases. So you can increase the engagement value for that user. And then I had added it to the list. But in that case, as we discussed in the case studies, we can send an emails as well, right? So this was my demo related to maintenance of your subscription list. We can take like we can move to Q&A. Like my demo is over, but if I want to like show you the list manager update, we will need 15-20 minutes. But yeah, it's straightforward. You don't need to like verify it in the list manager. It automatically will minus this one like 5, or like it will make 6 itself, because we added a new user and we removed the existing user, right? So what will happen is when we add a new user, it will become 7, and then we have unsubscribed an user, which will make it 6 again. So your unsubscribed list will go to 3, but the subscription list will remain to 6, right? After 15-20 minutes. So technically what happens is whenever we are doing it, right? So the end, like the front end website tries to connect with XConnect to give these details that a user has done a triggered a goal or something that will be processed by the processor engine. Then processor engine will put it into the database. Once the uh, uh, goals are triggered into the database, our marketing automation will run. And once the marketing automation will run, it will complete the process. And then your list manager will be up to date, which will be another X index worker job, right? The service, Windows service job. So that's why on local it takes 15-20 minutes. On your live site, when you have this role segregated, now this is my personal machine and it's the same machine that has all the Sitecore modules, it takes 15-20 minutes. On the live site where your roles are on different servers or different app services, it will take 30 minutes or 35 to 40 minutes odd to complete this circle of the automation. Yeah, I think that's all we had for the demo today.
Okay.
Any questions for me?
Hi, Rohan, Jatin this side.
Yes, hello.
We want to get the unique email IDs. So where we
Yeah,
have to put the rule. So that we are not saving the same email address if user are giving in case.
as in I didn't get your question.
So we are taking the email addresses, right?
Yeah,
So
correct.
if we want additional check that this email address is already not there in our list.
Is not already in the list, right? So
Yeah.
that's why what we are trying to do is good question. What let me exit this one. That's why I had shown you that we need to, like, whenever you create a marketing automation, right? You need to make sure that you're selecting maximum enrollment one. So if that user has already gone through this marketing automation, it will just skip the user. It will not enroll that user to the marketing automation. If you click unlimited, then it will try to go through it again.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jatin. Anyone else has any questions? Okay, I guess there are no questions, Ron.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe if they have any
Let,
questions, they can
yeah.
connect with
Let
you on
me.
WhatsApp.
Yeah. Sure. What I'll quickly do is I'll try to see if I can run the mm, jobs. Let me see if I can update the listing manager manually. No, that's right. It takes 15-20 minutes here. Yeah. Sorry, Vinod, you were saying something. I think I was
No,
trying
no.
to do. I was, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, no one has any questions. So if they get any questions, they can reach out to you on maybe our community group,
Sure.
or
Sure.
they can ping to you on LinkedIn. So yeah, I think thank you everyone for joining this webinar. Thank you for giving your valuable time to us, and thank you Rohan for this wonderful session. And yeah, we are planning few more webinars in this month and coming month. So stay tuned. You can check the events on our
Yeah.
events page of our
Thank you
website.
everyone for giving your valuable time during Diwali. Happy Diwali and thanks for joining today's webinar.
Yeah, thank you everyone.